Hello everyone, how's it going? It is Theorycrafting as always, and I'm here to bring you a somewhat unusual video on my part, namely a Theorycrafting video. This particular one is what I think the ultimate plan is for the Void Lords in the Warcraft universe. Now obviously what I state here will never actually happen in the universe's story, because in World of Warcraft the good guys win pretty much all the time, so in a way I guess you could say that everything I'm saying is moot and a bunch of baloney. But I will say that, in at least part of the video, I will talk about what I think future expansions of World of Warcraft will be about. I'd also like to add a little disclaimer. I know that Nabel and I think Nixium recently did a video what would happen if the old gods had won during the Hour of Twilight. I have not watched that, I am not taking inspiration from that video, and I have absolutely no idea what they said. If everything I say here is just a repeat of that video, or on the contrary it contradicts it 100%, that is just a coincidence. So, I suppose let's start this video by explaining a few things, so that I'll have a reference point for everything else. Firstly, keep in mind that the Burning Legion was created by Sargeras specifically with the purpose of eradicating the life out of the universe, so that it doesn't end up as being corrupted and or consumed by the Void. The Void is a separate dimension filled with evil and chaotic creatures, chief among them the Void Lords, which have existed since before the dawn of the universe itself. They are polar opposites of the light, and in fact, their very conflict has led to the creation of the cosmos as we know it. Both the Void and the Light have their own agents in our universe, chief among them the Old Gods and the Naaru respectively. The Void Lords have attempted to corrupt the Titans before, but without success. As a result, they created the Old Gods in order to infest and corrupt unborn Titans, to use them in order to conquer our universe. The most powerful Titan to have ever existed is as of yet unborn and found inside Azeroth. It's the reason Sargeras is so obsessed with destroying Azeroth, in order to avoid the Titan falling into the hands of the Void. So as a sort of premise for this video, I would say that, I think, the Void Lords have 3 plans for conquering the universe, hinging on 2 very specific events. The first one, and the one the Void Lords would prefer the most I think, would be their ultimate victory at the Hour of Twilight, aka the climax of the Cataclysm storyline, which we have managed to prevent. The second one, number 2, would be a victory for the Burning Legion on Azeroth. And number 3, and the third and final situation, would be if Azeroth, along with the Army of the Light, managed to destroy the Burning Legion, something which seems most likely to happen at the end of this expansion. So let's go through them in order. What is the Hour of Twilight? It was the event prophesied to be the ultimate victory of the Old Gods and of their forces on Azeroth. It was the ultimate build-up of all the plans of the Old Gods and their servants, specifically the Twilight's Hammer on Azeroth. We get a small inkling of how that would look like in the End Time dungeon. Now, remember, the ultimate purpose of the Old Gods on Azeroth is to corrupt the Titan within the planet. With their forces victorious and the defenders of Azeroth destroyed, it would be very easy for the Old Gods to be freed from their prisons and resume their corruption of Azeroth. With their absolute control, they would weed out the agents of the Burning Legion and close or destroy any possible access points to Azeroth, such as the Tomb of Sargeras or the Dark Portal. Eventually, the most powerful being in the cosmos, the Titan Azeroth, would be fully corrupted. It would then be incredibly easy for them to fully sever the barriers which separate our universe from the Void, and begin the conquest and consumption of the cosmos. This is again, I think, the ideal and preferred scenario for the Void Lords. The end goal of the Void is always to gain access to our universe and consume it, obviously, but if the Hour of Twilight had come to pass, they would have the most powerful Titan ever as their servant, pretty much the situation they have always dreamed of. Now, let's talk about the second scenario. What if the Legion succeeds in its current invasion of Azeroth and manages to destroy the world and its unborn Titan in their entirety? There's a few things I'd like to bring up here. The Burning Legion has already been stated to be coming close to the complete destruction of life in the universe. With the greatest obstacle in their path, Azeroth, removed, The fabled Army of the Light also probably has no chance of succeeding against the Legion. Pretty much inevitably, Sargeras' Burning Crusade would succeed in their goal of eradicating all life. However, I would like to propose something. I think, almost certainly, that Sargeras does not trust his demons, nor does he like them, so to say. He had spent countless millennia fighting them, and only recruited them for his mission out of convenience, really, because he needed an army. I think almost certainly that once the life in the universe is destroyed, that Sargeras will then destroy his demonic army. His purpose is to wipe the universe clean of all life after all, especially those which would be very easily corrupted by other evil forces, such as demons which have been previously associated with the Void. So technically a complete defeat for the Void, right? I don't think so. I think the Void would be banking on Sargeras' ambition, his pride, and really his madness. I don't think Sargeras would be content with just eradicating all life from the universe. I think he would try to destroy the Void itself, and he would try to achieve this by creating another army, one that he would think not be capable of being corrupted by the Void, and then he would rip the barrier between the universe and the Void himself and try to invade. However, because Sargeras was corrupted and frankly mad, I don't think he would create his new army by working with the light, aka the polar opposite of the Void. After all, the Army of the Light was the main opponent of his Burning Crusade. And despite being opposite, the Light and the Void are still very much connected with each other, as you can see with the life cycle of the Naaru themselves. No, Sargeras would create his new army by using Fel magic, probably the only magic he would be capable of now, really. However, Fel is the realm of disorder and chaos, which are both very closely associated with the Void. Sargeras would, I think, fool himself that, unlike the demons which sometimes cooperate with the Void, his new army would be completely immune to their influence, unwittingly playing right into the hands of the Void Lords. I'm sure that the fact that Sargeras would have completely annihilated the agents of the light from the universe would be just a nice bonus. So, almost inevitably, Sargeras would open the gateway for the Void Lords himself. He would then either severely underestimate their power and fail, or he would unwittingly craft an army for them to use. Now, I think this is sort of the least preferred scenario for the Void Lords. Sure, they would win, but they would have very little left to consume due to, again, the Burning Crusade. However, even if they just managed to defeat and take over Sargeras' power, I think it would still be enough to swing the balance in the eternal conflict of the light against the Void permanently in the Void's favor. Now finally, the third option. The heroes of Azeroth and the Army of Light managed to defeat the Burning Legion, kill Sargeras and its higher chain of command. I think the situation at the end of this war would be very much in the Void Lord's favor. They did not really participate in the war against the Legion, they have not really suffered that many casualties. The war was mostly fought by the Naaru and their Army of the Light, who would have obviously taken immense casualties in their foolish altruism. The old gods across the cosmos, along with the forces of the Void which already exist in the universe, could prove to be a fairly strong opposition to the forces of good. Let's not forget also the Naga Empire on Azeroth, the remnants of the Twilight Samurai which have been slowly gathering strength, and of course the last old god remaining, N'Zoth. Sure, N'Zoth may be something of the runt of the old god litter, as even Xal'atath, the Blade of the Black Empire, lamented that the task of corrupting Azeroth fell to someone as weak as him, but he's still not a pushover. What I really think would cement the chances of the Void Lords, however, would be the demon remnants of Sargeras' Burning Legion. Now let's be honest, barring some miraculous intervention, we are not going to kill all or even most of the demons of the Burning Crusade when we invade Argus. We are most likely just going to strike down their main leadership and rout their armies, destroying them as an effective organization but not as individuals. These individual demons would then be easy prey for the Void since, like I mentioned previously, they are already attuned on a fundamental level to the forces of chaos. The demons would also be desperate, they would be on the run from the forces of the light, and willingly join any group in order to survive. In a way, almost inevitably, regardless of how events play out, Sargeras would have unwittingly given the Void Lords an army at their command. Sure, the conflict would be difficult. The forces of the light have several things going in their favor, such as the possibility that Azeroth itself, the Titan, would awaken. But the overall balance of power is definitely in favor of the Void. To them, it's probably just a matter of time. And that's it. That's my theory. Thank you to everyone who stuck by and watched this. Make sure to leave any thoughts below. Now, obviously, some of what I said isn't going to actually happen because the good guys always win, but I thought it was an interesting mental exercise. Anyway, thanks again, and I will see you all later. Bye.